Hi, welcome back to Real Reviews. This is Cody Williams. We're here to talk about the movie Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker and also its many spoilers. So if you still haven't yet seen the movie and don't want to be spoiled, get out and don't look back. I'm not going to be doing a play-by-play spoiler video because this video would be just humongous. I'm just going to be talking about the parts that are the main plot points and main twist. So, let's get down to business. In the opening crawl of the movie, it says that the dead speak, and that Emperor Palpatine is back from the dead. And what I want to know is how he frickin' survived from being thrown down the reactor shaft of the Death Star from Return of the Jedi. When we do get our first glimpse of Emperor Palpatine, he says his iconic line from Episode 3. The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural. That's my impression. My guess, he was able to supernaturally heal himself somehow using the Force, but not all the way, since he's hooked up to a Lazarus-looking machine that helps him stay alive, since he still looks like a decaying zombie at this point. Also, during this part, it shows that Supreme Leader Snoke was, in fact, a creation of Palpatine, since we see clones of Snoke inside of an experiment tube. At this point, we know Palpatine has been a puppet master of Snoke all this time since The Force Awakens. When The Force Awakens first came out in 2015, nobody knew who Snoke was, and people were freaking out and thinking, is he supposed to be a deformed-looking Palpatine? Well, now we know. During the movie, we find out that Rey, in fact, is the granddaughter of Emperor Palpatine. Was it a shock to me? Definitely. As a matter of fact, I was expecting her to be Luke's long-lost daughter or something, but nope. She's the granddaughter to Palpatine, or Darth Sidious, whatever you want to call him. What's really cool about this film is that it delivers a message that your bloodline, carried on from your evil grandfather, does not predestine your fate. You can choose from your spirit, heart, who you really want to be. So, it was interesting that she took on the Skywalker surname during the last frames of the movie, because Luke and Leia both pretty much raised Rey like a daughter, in a sense. It was cool that this moment in the movie lived up to the title of the movie, The Rise of Skywalker. With her being the granddaughter to the evil Sith Lord, it would explain how powerful she was ever since we met her character in The Force Awakens. Also, if you go back to the movie The Last Jedi, it would also explain why she was tempted to go to the dark side while her training with Luke on the island. It all makes sense if you look at it back in retrospect. I also really enjoyed Ben Solo, Kylo Ren's story arc in this movie. Him switching over from the dark side to being good was handled very nicely, as he got his forgiveness from hallucinogenic memory of his long-lost father, and cast out his hate as he threw out his lightsaber into the ocean. So, seeing him sacrifice his life in exchange for Rey's life with a Force healing was, in fact, really cool. I do have a complaint about something, and it's about the Knights of Ren. Why is it that we finally get to see them in a movie for a good amount of time, mind you, and they're killed off as they were a joke? I mean, the Praetorian guards from the Snoke's throne room in The Last Jedi had way more fight in them and felt more like an actual danger. It just doesn't make sense to me at all. The last battle with Rey and Emperor Palpatine was nice and all, but you would have thought he would have learned his lesson from Episode 3, with his own Force lightning being reflected back to him from Rey's lightsaber. It just seems like a cop-out for the Emperor to die that way. That whole part felt like Iron Man and Thanos going at each other in Avengers Endgame. Especially right when the Emperor says, "I have all the Sith in me," and Rey saying, "I have all the Jedi in me." That whole part just gave me chills. It was so exhilarating. It was neat how they brought back Carrie Fisher into this movie, using unused footage from the past couple of movies and inserted her into scenes for this movie. Because, unfortunately, she passed away before production started. Speaking of Carrie Fisher, it was pretty cool how she was digitally de-aged, along with Mark Hamill, to make themselves look like they're lightsaber training after Return of the Jedi. That whole scene was definitely worth the price of admission alone. I think that's all the spoilers I wanted to talk about and get off my chest. If I didn't talk about the spoilers anytime soon, I felt like I was about to explode. I thought it was necessary to make a video like this. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel to keep up with my real reviews.